What's your take on for this particular game? What kind of game do you think is going to take place in this game?
Well, the hopes for this game is that there is no drop-off.
Yes.
Like, to be the best, you have to be able to maintain, regardless of what your rotation is, you have to maintain the motor, maintain the discipline, maintain the assignments. If you can't do it, you're just a speed bump in this division. You, man, go play in L.A., go play in Ohio, go play somewhere else. Like, that, we play too hard out here. It's just what it is, and what we expect is for there to be no drop-off in the talent level from your 1 to 2s if you keep a rotation like the Insomniacs do. The Alienators put up a lot of points against a so-so team. Let's see if they can do it against a more put-together team.
And now it'll be Juice to throw it off for the Insomniacs.
That man is a monster. We will be calling his name a lot.
With Mike Gelato, and can't see the other one on the other side.
Oh, that's Gelato. We just call him Sherbert.
I know Gelato, but I'm talking about the gentleman in the hoodie on the far top of your screen.
It's hard to see.
Yeah, I can't see his name.
But again, it is Jaden Webb back to receive the throw off, and here we go. From about the 8-yard line. He's got to get to the 20, and he does.
Ooh, what a
Makes
spin
one-man miss, but Gelato right there holding on for dear life at the 25, pulls him down to the 27, and that's where the Alienators will start. And it looks like Swag Urkel, Charles Johnson, number 7, looks to be at quarterback. He's got the wristband on.
The inverted flying V kind of seems to be a good containment protocol.
Inverted flying V.
Yeah, no, from Mighty Ducks.
Wouldn't that be a U? I'm just saying.
Some would say.
No.
But here we go. Charles Johnson.
V and a U, they go the same way.
Charles Johnson subbing in at quarterback for Quinton Iriarte. He's not
He put
playing
Gelato
today.
in the spin cycle, though. He made the tackle, but.
Well, this is where it's going to be interesting to me.
Those
I want to
jerseys
see.
are fire.
I want to see what goes on with the defensive line, with the Insomniacs.
They are nice. And a delayed handoff. And this is Davion Hodges taking the initial handoff and gets to about the 30. Sets up second down and 5. Glad you're with us on Caffeine and on AceNFL.tv.
And who we absolutely have to talk about is Jeremy. This linebacker for the Insomniacs, and I'm a bit partial, is different.
Talk about Mr. Reeves, number 25.
Yes, sir.
In the gun. 1 back, 2 back. Johnson, delay fake, looking to throw.
Look at J.J.
And
Harris on him.
Keep it out for himself. He gets across the 35. Close to a first down. They might be about a yard shy.
You saw Fresh Out make a business decision right there and not make that hit coming down the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Mr. Harris was living up to
He
his
pulled up.
nickname,
Yeah, he pulled up.
being the Jet. So they say that is a 3rd and short.
To get that last play off a little bit better, Swag Urkel has to sell that fake a little bit better that dive to get the DN JJ to bite a little bit more so he can get outside without having to fall back.
Whenever you're trying to go RPO, you got to sell the fake, absolutely. 3rd and short.
Webb to the
Quick
bottom of your
pass,
screen.
And Webb makes the catch. First down for the Alienators.
And he's still digging. They swung to the ball, but he's still digging.
Yeah, but when Stone Stevenson grabs a hold of you, you just better just take it right there and just go to the next play because Stone Stevenson, I mean, yes, you see he's short and height, but his motor, his heart is uncanny, and he's a very good sound tackler.
Then he looks like he's Bradley Cooper's brother.
Stop it. Stop.
Not supposed to be that talented and that good looking.
First down, the Alienators. Ball set on the 39-yard line.
All right, so Webb was one of the people that they highlighted before the game when I was down on the sidelines getting an update on Moncrief. He slips.
And that's going to go back for yardage.
So, again.
That was Robert Burns on the carry, but the Turf Monster strikes.
But that's what we were talking about even last week. What shoes are you wearing?
Correct.
Right? Because we saw so many guys slipping last week, it was unreal.
Chicago Bears, 28, Detroit, 13.
And even though it looks nice and sunny out here, it's been unseasoned, like it's been weirdly chilly.
Yes.
Like to the point where like it does affect the field turf a little bit.
Yeah. Which again, most fields here in Clark County are field turf. Johnson in the gun.
Watch this blitz.
Trips to the
he
far
bailed.
side. Johnson, great protection over the middle. And he had Webb open and just off the reach of his fingertips. And if Webb makes that catch, he may take that all the way.
He had lots of green
Yes,
going
he
around
did.
the corner.
Absolutely.
At the bottom of the screen, this man could have taken it easily for the touchdown.
Do you think that
We
was
still got some.
now?
Still
Do you
got some
think
speed in the back.
now? Do you think that's a little bit of hesitation by Johnson, just afraid to let it go when he had him open?
No,
He was waiting
I don't
for
know
him
how
to
to play
clear.
quarterback, man.
No.
I would be guessing to even try and go.
He was waiting for him to clear the
wouldn't have seen
box. Once he cleared the box, because if we see the replay again, you'll see that the linebackers drop. So he was waiting for him to clear the box onto the other side before he threw the ball.
3rd and a mile. They need the 49 for a first down. Johnson back to throw, and wait a minute.
Is that?
Yeah, that is
That
Mr.
is
Wilkerson.
the man, the myth, the
Yes. So
legend. Out
he's
here,
gonna,
man.
So he's,
he does it all the time.
he's going to try to do his best Michael Jordan impression. And well, I'll tell you what. I've always said that that's a grown man. Anthony Wilkerson, God bless you. You are a grown man.
As a reminder,
That man, that man is a role model in his work ethic, the way he takes care of his family, and just his production in general.
And Denzel Daniels, who took one last week against the Outlaws to the house on the 3-on-1, he's back to receive, standing at his own 23-yard line.
this is also
Just call him the mask.
Right?
Johnson, again, will throw it off on the 3-on-1 fault. So the Alienators get a first down, but the drive stalls, and here comes the Insomniacs on their first possession. And here comes Denzel.
And they throw it to him. I would have thrown him out of
From the
bounds.
10. He's at the 10, 20, 25, 30. Across the 35.
Oh, and he
Slips. But a good field position start for Denzel as they'll take it at the 38-yard line.
first down.
And it'll be Quincy Burt's Q, the unsung hero of the championship game back on July the 23rd with his 2 interceptions that changed the game.
That is the most the biggest turnaround of any player.
Yes.
As far as fan club from the
Right.
East Coast.
Well, Corey Hammond, if you're watching, your guy is starting at quarterback today.
Let's see what he
Mr.
does.
Q.
And Dr. Oos is playing at center, which is normally Kenny Mack's position.
And John Price out at tackle, and
Along
then
with
V. Schwenk. Zachary Luciano at the bottom of your screen. RTC in the backfield.
And he gets, and the turf monster strikes
At that run,
as RTC got the carry but slipped at the line of scrimmage.
58 on the tackle.
And
block.
Dylan Graham.
makes the tackle.
Dylon, and
Well,
Dylon.
we
Split
got
hot
a,
fire.
we got a 2-yard loss on that, so it wasn't quite at the line of scrimmage that he slipped, unfortunately.
So now the ball's put back at the 34-yard line. 10:35 to go here in the first quarter. Insomniacs on their first possession.
They have Juice out at wide receiver at the top of your screen.
Is there anything the man can't do?
I don't
and
think so.
RTC gets the ball back, slips, and gets the first down anyway. And that is a grown man.
He doesn't care.
That's all I can say. Anthony Wilkerson.
You know what? Rain, sleet, or shine, the bus is just going to keep moving.
Yes.
The bus is going to run.
The wheels
You can
are-
set your clock by it. It might not be on time. It might be a little ahead of schedule. It might be late, but it's going to get there.
And AJ is getting himself harnessing his chi on the sideline, and that's scary.
Yeah, no, he remember he told us he's just stretching out his
Right.
He's just stretching out his ankles.
Right?
Is that what he calls it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Devon-
Bowling ball's in.
Devontae Carter
That's that
in
man.
at the back. Q
Look for
at
a
the
dive.
gun. And there is Devontae coming to the near side across midfield, across the 45, put out of bounds after a 5-yard gain. Second down and 5 as the Insomniacs, again, like I said,
Already chirping.
with most teams not have, well, of course, Devontae is never at a loss for words. That's
He always got something to say. I always have had admired these guys for their ability to play at such a high level and to be screaming at people at the same time. I get gassed in the game.
It's a talent.
The way that the cardio is just different.
It's
to
a
some
true
people.
it's a true talent for sure. Ball at the 45. Again, Carter in the backfield alongside Q, Quincy Burtz, starting at quarterback.
Smooth.
And Q can throw it.
Smooth
Takes a
on
shot
the
deep.
post.
And he's going
He's
for
got
juice.
Oh,
Incomplete. Juice did out of step, but Q put too much mustard on the hot dog.
That's an arm right there.
It is one of the
We
most,
know he can throw it out
Yeah.
of the back of the end zone with no
yes,
problem.
Q is one of the most strongest arms in the A7 and throws a very beautiful deep ball.
I think that was in that play, when we watch a replay, I think it's one of those situations, too, where he hasn't had enough time with his wide receivers to understand.
Juice is new to the team, and also they're famous for just being better. They don't have to practice.
But
necessarily.
if you haven't seen Juice run the ball,
Got to
you're
get
in-
your timing done, though.
You're in for a treat. RTC in the backfield. Q keeps it himself. a la
RTC
Walter
on the
Payton.
block.
And a good first down gain for Q and RTC.
pushed him out of bounds. Oh, a little bit of chirping and pushing after the thing. That's not going to treat you well later in the game, young sir.
Tyler Watkins, you might not want to go mano-a-mano with Mr. Wilkerson.
Man, pushing that man. He's already not feeling good. Don't
Yeah.
get him hyped up.
Yeah.
Don't get him mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
he is the nicest
okay,
man.
he's-
Don't get him mad.
Okay,
it's not going to go good.
He's already mad that his favorite chicken place, and it's also one of mine, is closed on Sundays.
Yeah, look,
So that's one strike.
right. You're going to make it way more worser.
Yeah.
Way more worser.
Yeah.
Yeah, way more worser.
Hey, my pastor says worser, so it's a word. RTC in the backfield. Ball spotted at the 40-yard line.
Stone Stevenson checked in. Top of the screen. And Smooth, who scored in the national championship game.
Yes, he did. Back to Wilkerson. Why not? And there he goes. Far sideline.
One man to beat. That's all he had. One man to beat.
And it seems like the turf is playing a huge dividends with all the slippage so far in the early going of this contest, gentlemen.
Yeah, I think I might have to go with the turf shoes when I come back. But I just don't know what kind of push you can get off the edge as a lineman with those.
The problem with the turf shoes that I've always found is that because the cleat itself is so low, you don't get really good grip, and when it's cold out, it's even worse.
It's worse.
Yeah.
Way more worse.
So do you
Way
go?
more
So
worse.
do you go to the molded cleats or do you go to the 3/4?
Molded might not be a bad idea.
Molded's not bad for this, but you want something that's got a shorter cleat. You don't want to go to the 3/4 cleat because those
Cody
things are just
Johnson
gonna
checks
stick.
in at the bottom of your screen.
Oh, got a blitz.
And there's a sack.
And a sack by the Alienators. Number 8 getting
Watkins
that
and Joe Sims. Or I'm sorry, that's number
brings
8.
up
That
a
is
massive
Brandon
loss
Peak
for the Insomniacs.
combining for the sack.
You know, you had him coming off the corner
Oh, yeah,
right
he
here.
came right off the edge.
Watch
They
when he
loaded the
comes off
line.
the
Nobody
edge.
picked him up.
Nope. Free runner.
They blitzed 2 extra. They brought 5. But if you're confident in your ability to make that tackle, and you're confident to leave those two receivers or those 2 DBs on an island, send them.
Yeah.
Send them.
But the thing about it is they're picking and choosing.
Yep.
If you watch it, they're not coming all the time.
Yeah, no,
right
it's
now
a
they've
good
got
play.
5 on the line again.
Q back to
Another
throw.
free runner.
Blitz coming over the middle pass, incomplete.
And incomplete.
He was looking for Cody Johnson, but I think there was a miscommunication in the route running.
Yeah, you see a little bit of frustration
Well, I mean,
coming from Quincy Burts.
Well, I think he made a play call, and I don't think him and his wide receiver are on the same page. Because you saw both wide receivers were in cuts, not out cuts. And he threw an out.
All right.
so a decision for the Insomniacs. And
Man, we play Madden ball. Let's go.
Well, RTC with the ball. Now that's a pretty good option. I don't know. Depending on the spot, no, they're going to say it's going to be first and
That was a great defensive series. Looks like
Faded in the car, it's like a round one.
Yo, where you at?
I'm pulling up, just make sure that you roll some.
All they need to do is clean that up.
4 a.m. driving in Rodeo. We out here doing donuts like tornadoes. Cruising, catch the sun in San Diego. Cause I said so. I've been going around, whipping all through the night. Me with a 2-seater light round, whipping. Don't get it right, don't get it right. I've been going around, whipping all through the night. Me with a 2-seater light round, whipping. Don't get it right, don't get it right. Speeding down Pacific like a bullet. If cops come, then we gotta lose them. On this road, they love to hate on you.
me and a Rookie of the Year candidate.
Gerald Lawson also combining for that tackle.
Defensive player, maybe.
Well,
he's
but
got some competition with
If
Joe
you
Jackson.
if you watch this too, watch the replay, you'll see that he was a little quick. The running back was a little quick. He didn't let his holes develop.
And you talked about it a lot.
And that's a
Matt.
big difference from the running back that they had last week.
Johnson
Correct.
back to throw. Pass, caught, and
Solid reception on the
solid
play.
catch there.
The number 12.
That is, of course, Jaden Webb again on the catch.
I'm starting to see something. Swag looks like he's favoring number 12 pretty big.
Yeah.
And they're hitting that out. My
Yeah.
question is, does he have enough time to sit
Out
there
and up.
and exactly
And to
as
step,
he's setting
and to
it
step,
up for him?
and to step in the pocket and perhaps take a shot downfield later on in the game.
You got it.
3:30 to go here in the first quarter. Scoreless. Second possession for the Alienators.
Do you go for the first down, or you run that out and up right now?
I'm going for the first down.
It's
There's no
third
point
and
in
5.
doing it. It's 3rd and 5.
Oh, there's AJ.
Hey,
Ball
got
on the ground. Fumble.
Fumble.
What did I say? AJ's coming in. The ball's ours.
And Reeves makes the recovery. And, of course,
First takeaway of the day.
AJ doing AJ things, being, well, in our eyes, the Defensive Player of the Year. But that's here nor there.
Oh, no, it's both of them, here and there.
Yeah.
Boo-boo.
But nonetheless, with 3:08 to go here in the first quarter, the Insomniacs force a turnover, and they start in plus territory.
All the 41-yard line.
Well, they're rushing to the line. It looks like they might have something going on.
And
or they see something.
RTC took the sleeves off. And there he goes. To the far side, spinning, still on his
Keep your feet moving. Keep them chopping.
That might be the best 6-yard run I've ever seen in my life.
He should have been stopped in the backfield.
Yes.
He should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage. And RTC, in pure RTC fashion, just keeps the legs going and gives you 6 yards.
That's what he does.
I think I drank all my coffee. I'm sad.
You can always get some more.
S'mores? What?
That too. 2nd down and 4 with 2.5 to go first quarter. Anthony Alvarez, Scott the Viking McCorkle, Chris Vera with you here in the booth. Scoreless in the early going.
All right. Look at this. Luciano and RTC.
And he takes the snap.
Man.
Luciano. Nice block from RTC. But good swarming tackles by the Alienators.
Alienators defense swarms to the ball.
I think one thing we're going to have in this game, gentlemen, with Coach Q and with Coach JB, 2 very well coached teams, and they seem to both be very disciplined.
It's interesting to watch this because usually when you see some kind of play like that going around the corner, I was looking for the wide receivers to block down and push these because you want your running back to have that corner. So I was looking for them to push back inside, and they just walked around the blocks.
And now you got Wilkerson.
If they get too far outside, it's the running back's job to cut that back.
Wilkerson,
I would agree.
You got Wilkerson and Carter in the backfield, and this time it's Carter. Straight up the gut. First down. And the bowling ball moving the chains for the Insomniacs. Of course, he is free, and, of course, he is looking for contact every time he touches the ball.
That's one man that you see coming your way. It's easier to make that business decision and get out of his way.
And shout out to John Price. Old man is out there blocking his behind off right now.
But that's John, man. John doesn't know how to give up, man. That boy is definitely
Special.
Wilkerson going to the far sideline, cuts back in the middle. That is one
still
tough.
driving his legs.
That is one tough.
Four.
Yeah,
Four guys.
4 guys. That's a tough man
Four
to tackle.
guys.
That's a tough out right there. Business decisions all the way around.
Under a minute now, 44 seconds to go in a scoreless first quarter.
You know, so far this has been a kind of a defensive battle.
It's been a chess match.
And so I want to see, I mean, it's who's going to make the least amount of mistakes in this game is going to probably wind up winning.
That's a very good analogy and a very good point. A very interesting chess match so far between the Alienators and the Insomniacs. Q will put it up, looking for Johnson. Johnson rolling out. Q. Oh, what a great movement by Q going for Johnson. Incomplete, just off his hands. But
that was a great defensive back play.
Yes.
Stayed with him, stayed in his hip pocket. If that ball was thrown a little bit further outside, it might have been a touchdown.
But great job by Q keeping the play alive.
Yes.
And finally getting a chance to step in the pocket and just off the hands. And there's that man, Jaden Webb, making the play again, knocking the ball away from Cody Johnson. So after 1 quarter complete, it is the Alienators nothing, the Insomniacs nothing. As we will
we'll see what's going on with this next play.
So it's going to be 3rd and 5. As it is scoreless. So thoughts after the first quarter, Mr. Vera?
It's been something that I didn't think was going to happen the way it did. I understand that right now the Insomniacs are missing a lot of key players, which is understandable, but at the same time, I expected them to come out and flex a little bit on the Alienators, but what I'm seeing is practically a stalemate between the offense and the defense on both teams. So it's interesting. I see a little bit of timing's off just a little bit with the Insomniacs.
So our guy in the chair, Cole, has just informed me that RTC already has 6 carries for 40 yards after 1 period of play.
Jeez. Here's a guy that literally, it's wearing on the defensive players.
Oh, yeah.
And when he's that big, and we know RTC just, as he goes through the game, he gets stronger, not weaker.
Yes.
And even though he's not feeling greatest, a 50% RTC is better than a lot of guys you could put out on the field.
And now we got Juice and the bowling ball with Schwenk declaring in the backfield. And here's Devontae coming to the right side. Now Devontae's got the corner, and he is in the end zone. Touchdown, Insomniacs.
He wanted that contact so
yeah,
bad.
he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He was
did.
looking for
He
it.
was looking for it.
He slowed down and everything.
He said, please come and hit me.
And then sportsmanship afterwards,
Hit me,
man.
please.
He gets a bad name on opposing teams for how much trash he talks, but he loves this game.
But again, a great block by Juice, spinning Devontae to the corner. And, of course, Devontae always wanting contact. Finds the end zone, and Tay is free. He's back. He finds the end zone. And, of course, the Scott McCorkle rule always go for 2.
Oh,
Nope, they're going for one.
Going for 1. Okay, Schwenk just declared. It's Luciano in at quarterback. On the touchdown run by Devontae Carter, puts the Insomniacs up 6-0. And they give it to Juice. Juice has the edge. Juice is in for the conversion.
Zelly coming back with a good block in the end zone.
And again, this is what we were talking about. It's all a matter of being able to get your blocks down. So in this case, pushing everybody back to the middle, get your running back the corner. So it was a great play by the overall offense and the wide receiver.
So 4 seconds into the second quarter, the Insomniacs turn the conversion or turn the fumble that was forced by A.J. McQuaig. They turn it into 7 points. Devontae Carter finds the edge, gets the corner, gets in the end zone, and the Juice converts it for a 7-0 lead for the Insomniacs. And now it'll be...
I was actually waiting for Scott to say it, but
My bad.
I'll go ahead and say it. The juice was loose.
The juice is loose and ready to run over your caboose.
So we are... That's a short throw. And he touched it. That's a live ball. Ball still on the ground. Picked up by Cannon. And Cannon is going to score for the Insomniacs.
I think that's just their ball.
Yeah, on the 3-and-1, you can't return it.
Oh, well, but it is Insomniacs' possession.
Yes, it is.
And they get it in plus territory. And again, that's the... We talk about this a lot for verbatim. It's just, you really can't give good teams plus field position.
Well, it's not even plus field position. In all honesty, you can't give good teams other opportunities.
Correct.
Because you want a stalemate with this right now. Right now, you are giving the Insomniacs a lot of confidence to come out and play even better on this situation. So you're looking at a situation right now where the Insomniacs can take a 14-0 lead.
But again, we talked about it for so much, just how great Stone, Stevenson, and Cannon are on the 3-on-1 special teams, which is very hard to return against this team. And there's the Juice.
Well,
and he gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
We've been saying this, and I'll keep saying this. When you are in a situation where you have a good team, you have to have all 3 facets of that good team. Offense, defense, and special teams.
Absolutely.
And the Insomniacs have that. The way they play the game, they look to take the ball away on the 3-on-1s. They look for other opportunities for you or for their offense to score points, and that's why they're so hard to beat.
But also, certainly, if you are the opposing team, as Schwenk declares on the offensive line, you can't turn the ball over, especially against a team like the Insomniacs. They will make you pay 9 times out of 10. Q in the gun, and it's a fake. Q over the middle, off the hands of Brandon Schwenk, incomplete. Of course, Schwenk is one of the more sure-handed people on the Insomniacs. He very rarely misses catching a ball.
Yeah, that's not like Schwenk. I think that it's just a matter of getting back into the
rhythm
of it. And, I mean, offense is a rhythm, and there's got to be a rhythm that's found. But we're also talking about another quarterback. Scooter's not here. He's not here to play. So you have a Q's coming in to take his place, and the receivers, it takes a little bit of time to get that going with the receivers again.
And that's no knock on good because Q is one of the best throwers we have in this division.
That goes without say. And the thing about it is, even good throwers of the ball, good quarterbacks.
They miss. They miss.
It takes a little bit of time.
They're human.
Yep.
Toss to Denzel. Denzel left side, cuts back inside. Again, the Turf Monster just continues to play a part in this game so far with 13-10 to go here in the first quarter.
Well, and the thing about it is, we've talked about it last week ad nauseum. We can keep talking about it. It just depends on shoes. It depends on what you're doing. Plus, I see these guys trying to cut back, and that's where they're losing their footing. So when you're trying to plant that outside foot, cut back inside, that's where I'm seeing that little bit of a slip. So I'm just hoping we don't have somebody hurt or growing.
So it's a 4th and 3. Want to take a wild guess who might get the ball?
I'm just throwing it out there, but I'm thinking RTC is probably going to be delivering again, making a stop
on the toss, and there he goes. The bus still on his feet. Mr. Wilkerson doing Wilkerson things. Touchdown Insomniacs on 4th and 3, and he is slow to get up.
That might just be because he's not feeling well. We all know that. So
he is doing his best impression of the flu game, but Anthony Wilkerson just continues to impress.
This, the fact that, Scotty said it. He said that's a man.
That is
and
a man.
He's right. That is a man playing amongst boys. I mean, this guy is just something else. And the thing about it is he has slimmed down.
Yes.
And even at a slimmed down, RTC just looks unstoppable. He actually looks like he's running with more power and more speed, if that's possible.
So they're going to go for one. Zach Luciano back in at quarterback. And Gelato is in the backfield with Luciano. And Zach has the edge, looking, incomplete. Conversion no good. So with 12:24 to go here in the first half, the Insomniacs, by way of 2 turnovers by the Alienators, have convert those into 13 points, and they have a 13-up lead. So down 13. Game far from over, and the Alienators, for the most part, have played a pretty good game, except with the turnovers. What's the strategy to try to cut into this 13-point lead?
I could sound there, but in all honesty, I could be very facetious and say score points. But I mean, that doesn't play well for TV, so let's say what it is. I think that they just need to get some confidence going in their offensive game, and I'm not seeing it right now.
Here's the return, and he's across the 40, and he's to the 45. A very nice return there. That's taken by number 9, and we're trying to get a name for number 9. Please stand by.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a change out from...
That was James Monk on the return.
I think we had a little bit of a change out from last week, obviously, with the Alienators now having their jerseys.
Their jerseys.
It makes a big difference. So just trying to make sure we got the names straight before we start announcing them.
Yeah, because we don't want to say the wrong names, because we've done that a ton enough last season. And we don't want to do that again to those that are watching. And the ball goes back to Monk. Oh, I'm sorry, that's number 8. That is Ronald Gaither.
Gaither up the middle, huh?
Nice gain right at midfield. 11:54 to go. 13-0 in favor of the Insomniacs. Running touchdowns by Wilkerson and Devontae Carter. Johnson looking to go downfield. Takes a shot. Going for Webb. Webb makes the catch at the 15-yard line.
Incredible catch by number 12.
And, I mean, that was great defense by Stone Stevenson. You could not defend it any better, but just a great grab by Webb on a nice throw by Johnson. And the Alienators making some moves here at the 15-yard line.
Now, remember what I said. Once you start to you need to get a little bit of confidence going. Once you could get a little confidence going in what you're trying to do, it changes the game.
Gaither in the backfield gets the carry. Comes to the left side. Trying to get to the edge. And a great tackle by guess who? A.J. McQuaig.
Well, like A.J. has said before, run it my way, run it my way.
Somebody ran to his side, and A.J. makes the tackle. Sets up second down.
And isn't it interesting? They run to his side and lose yardage. Go figure.
He makes the tackle. Second down and 9, gain of 1 on 10:50 to go here in the first half. Anthony Alvarez and Chris Vera with you here in the booth. Fake to Gaither, slant, too high for Webb, incomplete. To which Webb did have the inside move on Stone. He just needs to put it in his grass, and he walks right in.
I think that one of those things, when we were talking about the Alienators quarterback being down, I think that what we're seeing right now is, again, these guys just being a little bit, timing's off just a little bit, and that can change a lot. So, Webb might have been thinking quick slant, and the ball was thrown high, and he's lucky. In all honesty, he's lucky he got away with it, because if it was just a little bit lower, it could have went over his wide receiver's hands and right into Stone's hands.
Now, before this possession started, our guy in the chair, Cole, just sent me that RTC had more yards than the Alienators team by himself.
Wow. Well.
Johnson, lone back, blitz coming. Going to the end zone, incomplete. And there is a flag, our first flag of the game, as Gaither was the intended receiver. And it looks like it's going to be PI on the Insomniacs.
Definitely is. And the thing about that, he didn't need to, Smooth didn't need to do that. Josh didn't need to do that at all. He could have easily just undercut the ball, made sure that he wasn't getting it, and that would have been the end of story. Anytime that a cornerback has his hand around the waist of the receiver and turns the receiver, they're going to call it. It's just that simple.
All right.
And he really didn't need to do it.
So it's first down and goal at about the 8-yard line. With 9:53 to go here in the first half, 13-0 in favor of the Insomniacs. Rushing touchdowns by Devontae Carter and Anthony Wilkerson. And there is Robert Burns on the carry, but he is met by a swarming pack of wolves. As it is second down. And it is now put back to the 12-yard line.
Well, and here's what we have said. They played a really good stalemate for the first quarter.
Correct.
First half of the first quarter. Now what we're starting to see is the Insomniacs starting to show their grit. So see what we got.
Johnson looking, pass caught, and Webb steps out of bounds at the 3.
So that was a great catch, a little bit of a spin move. We saw Stone go right over the top after the receiver was able to duck him. So let's see what happens with this, because this gives us third down and goal to go.
From the 4. As the Viking has now reconvened with us here in the booth.
Yeah, I had to go set up a payment system for my son.
And a timeout by the Alienators. So with 8:43 to go here in the first half, it's 3rd and 3 for the Alienators as they try to cut in to this 13-point lead. And, gentlemen, thoughts so far in the first half? It seems like the key word has been turnovers. The Alienators fumble on a possession, turns into Devontae Carter touchdown, and then the fumble on the 3-on-1 return turns into a Anthony Wilkerson touchdown on a 4th down nonetheless.
Well, I think, what we're seeing is what happens with the Insomniacs. You can hold them down for so long, and we could even go back to the championship game for the Nightcrawlers and even say the same thing. You could hold them down for so long, but they are coming.
I wish we had a camera shot. Right now, the Viking is foaming at the mouth.
I'm not sure about what.
In and out.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah, he's watching Jaleel, our PA announcer.
He sounds like the mouse from Space Jam.
Having some fries in the booth.
Pretty sure that was played by Bruce Buffer, too.
3rd down and 3. With 8:43 to go as the Alienators try to cut into this lead here.
Nobody declared.
Johnson,
Boom.
give.
Oh, missed tackle.
And he's in the end zone, touchdown. And that is Mr. Gaither. Ronald Gaither gets in the end zone, and the Alienators get on the board. So an impressive drive.
They're looking good.
And
without their best quarterback, without their best running back.
Impressive answer by the Alienators going down 13.
I won't say best. They're number ones.
Well, you know what? And the thing about it is, the interesting thing about it is, you're also talking about the Insomniacs truly playing with their best defensive line still.
Yeah.
It's not like they're missing their defensive linemen, but this is, and I gotta admit, it's a little surprising.
It's a little bit.
Johnson back to throw, looking, man open, knocked away.
And he got a hand on it.
Knocked away by Stone Stevenson, so it will remain 13-6 with 8:43 to go here in the first half. But the Alienators cut into the lead. They're back in the game, and we have ourselves a ball game, gentlemen.
I think the Alienators are putting up a little fight. I think that not having a couple of the emotional leaders on the Insomniac sideline is taking its toll a little bit. So a couple of people are going to have to step up. Some more of the silent assassins are kind of left on the sidelines right now, and it's going to be interesting to see who steps up and starts getting loud. We still got Tay on the sidelines. We got a couple people that can really get hyped and make a difference. We just got to see what finds that spark.
Well, each team will find it eventually, right? We know that. Each team finds their spark. Each team finds their situation, what makes them cook, and we got to see what is going to be brought to them. So let's see what happens.
Denzel Daniels back to receive the 3-on-1. He returned one last week against the Outlaws and stuck a tremendous landing on the backflip.
The ball inside of the 20. Did not make it outside of the 20-yard line.
So here we go.
Gets the ball back.
And it looks like, no, it's not going to be Webb. It's going to be Gaither, who just scored the touchdown to
my question mark is this a great idea with Gaither? But we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, last week he was a pretty predominant in the throw-offs on the 3-on-1.
He was. And,
Denzel
we'll see what happens.
Across the 20, 25-30, 35-40. Hitting in the corner. Nice return by Denzel, and that's going to be an added 15 yards after the play.
I don't think
it was that crazy.
I don't think it was that crazy. I think that what happens is most guys forget that edge of the that edge that where we normally have the hash marks are actually the out of bounds.
Right.
So they still tend to push them until
until the markers.
It is what it is.
It's an unfortunate part of it, but until we get a specifically A7 field, which hopefully will be sooner rather than later, it's one thing we're going to have to deal with. But the players have to be mindful of that, because if the offensive player is pulling up at the actual sideline and the defensive player is playing through the marker, somebody's going to get hurt.
First down.
Well, I mean,
Brandon Schwank declares as soon as they get to the line with a bunch of urgency now.
So you got Juice on the far side, near side of Smooth Brown.
Fakes the toss.
Looking,
and he's got
takes
Smooth.
a shot, going for Smooth. Smooth just off his reach.
He altered his route midway through it, and it just caused a bit of a miscommunication. He threw one route, and Smooth ran another.
Well, again, as Chris talked about it, it's the timing. Which you gotta,
it's hard to do without practice.
Hey, you ain't got to tell me.
But also, normally throwing to the 6'6" Davik kind of gives you a bit of a cheat code.
True, but Smooth is no slouch in his own right.
Oh, he's not a slouch. It's just it's not as tall of a frame.
Oh, true.
You get a little bit more leeway when your receiver is 6'6" with a 7-foot wingspan.
So from the 37, with 7:43 to go and counting in the first half, Q in the gun, keeps it himself, spins around, gets inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line.
Shout out to Matt Kenny, who was paying attention and watching online, who shot me a private message. And I agree that everybody is lucky when you're not here, boss.
Well, we do miss the big Cornhusker, but
the viewers are the ones who lose the most.
Yeah, we hope the big.
But the other team definitely gets lucky.
We hope the big Cornhusker's doing all right, wherever he may be watching, and those that are watching on YouTube, we thank you for watching us. As a part of your Sunday here in December. 7 minutes to go. It is a 13-6 lead for the Insomniacs. Anthony Alvarez, Chris Vera, Scott the Viking McCorkle. Glad you're with us on Caffeine and on ASNFL.TV on YouTube.
They are crowding that
Juice.
line.
Juice
what a block by Bowling Ball.
Juice
and that's a low
30.
tackle. Like, I understand that this is the rule we were talking about earlier. He didn't try to wrap up. He dove at Juice's legs. We have to prevent that. He's at least, like, even if you're going to go and tackle through the thighs or whatever, you have to. Oh, I mean, on the review, he did try to wrap up. He just kind of got kicked.
And he did go at his midsection.
I think he went at his shins, but he was trying to.
No, he went at his hip.
He was definitely trying to wrap up.
Yep.
And I see that Juice is.
And I'd be wrong sometimes.
RTC at quarterback? Oh, he takes the direct step. Why not?
Oh, look
there he
at
goes
that.
again.
Oh, and
First
he gets
down.
rolled up.
Anthony Wilkerson doing Anthony Wilkerson things, getting the first down. Move the chains.
I mean, I understand RTC's
He doesn't even
not
make a
feeling the best,
stop
but
to drop people off.
no, He doesn't. And the thing about it is, he is, we see those RTC buses with the second piece. He's not a two-piece. He is single piece. And he's riding with a turbocharged engine.
Single action, ready to go.
I'm telling you, he is something else to watch. Some people say that he's like Derrick Henry, and I think that is a good
comp.
Yeah, good comp to him.
They both slimmed down. Watch out.
I mean, his speed right now, he's hitting the hole like I've never seen him hit the hole before.
Well, you got two good options in the backfield if you're Q. Which one?
We need to see Schwenk release.
Carter, left side.
The bowling ball.
I mean, great pursuit by Tyler. Great pursuit by Tyler Watkins, but he could not bring him down for nothing.
Nope. But I mean, when you got a guy that's that close to the ground, what are you supposed to do?
True.
That was crazy. But now, as we see these guys, the thing about watching this, especially from up here, rather than being down on the field level, is being able to see some of the holes that these guys are opening up for the players a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because we weren't watching them before, or I shouldn't say we. You guys can see it.
Yeah.
When I was on the sidelines, it was hard unless I had an angle. If I was in line, which is what I did a lot of times, was being on the right on the line, I couldn't see it.
Q, pump fake. Oh, he's got Carter wide open. Oh, and throws it away. Incomplete. Oh.
I think even Carter was wanting that one. He wanted to light somebody up.
Oh, yeah, he was open. And Q just saw it at the last minute. I mean, if he sees it initially, Devontae's literally walking into the end zone.
He is. I mean, he was wide open. The closest person closest defender to him was roughly about 15 yards away.
All right, so now Q's going to hit the bench. Or the sideline, not the bench. This is not baseball. Wrong sport, Dub.
Are we going to see the Wildcat here? I think so.
Well, it looks like Wilkerson.
Juice playing quarterback now, too?
No, it looks like Wilkerson.
Nope.
Oh. No, it's Juice. It's Juice.
What can't he do?
I'm telling you, this guy is something
Third and
else,
14
man.
from the 37.
Third down, 13 yards again.
Juice will keep it himself. Nice blocking.
And the keeper.
Good tackling by the Alienators.
Good tackle by Blackburn.
Sets up fourth down for.
He got his weight on top of Juice and waited for other people to get there. It was a good tackle coming down the line.
Q back in. Fourth and 11.
Here's a thought, too. It is fourth down.
Correct.
We know that.
Correct.
If they chose to throw it, they could pin the Alienators.
They could.
They could pin them real easy here. You could throw it to the close sidelines,
Yeah.
Bottom of your screen. We could easily see that.
Throw it out at the one.
Exactly.
Throw a line drive right at the 1 yard
And then
line.
just tell AJ to pin his ears back and go.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we could see a safety very easily. So, I mean, there's always going to be a little bit of gamesmanship when we're watching these games, right? So this is an interesting piece.
Very much so. Here we go. 2:20 to go here in the first half. 13-6. Insomniacs. Q will take the snap. Q looking, throwing pass. Caught by Schwenk.
He's short.
Right
Is
at
he
the
short?
sticks, they say.
He's right at the sticks.
No, they're going to say ball back to the Alienators. They're going to say he's short.
Let's see. I'm watching the review right now. I'm going to check
So
out.
again, the Alienators hold on fourth down, and we reach 2 minutes here in the first half.
I think if they challenge it, the ball was on the other side of his body. I think he got the lean.
You think forward progress gave him the first down?
No, I think when he slid for the ball, like when he caught
It
it,
took him back?
I think the ball was in front of the sticks, but
All right, so
our defense is better.
the Alienators have 2 timeouts. Insomniacs have all 3. And, of course, this was my pet peeve last season, was
The 2-minute drill.
the 2-minute drill.
Or lack thereof. But
yes.
the Alienators did show us last
Yes.
week that they
Yes.
will run one,
Yes.
but that was with that other quarterback.
Yes. Of course, if you're just joining us, Devontae Moncrief, who had a great debut last week, is not playing with an ankle injury.
And also that quarterback.
Don't know why Iriarte's not playing. They're both in their jerseys, but they're in their sweats. So it's been Swag Urkel Charles Johnson as the quarterback. And do we have to delay a game?
The Insomniacs are challenging the play.
Oh, they're going to challenge the spot. Okay.
Somebody heard me.
Somebody did, yes.
I have ESPN.
Esman. By the way, the Ravens.
Oh, no, ESP.
By the way, the Ravens just walked off against the Rams in overtime on a Walker 76-yard punt return.
Hey, help me understand something.
Okay.
While we're kind of filling the air right
Yes,
here.
sir.
Since they were talking all that smack about the Rams not being a good team, and here they are again. They showed up and played Frisco tough. They showed up and played the Ravens tough, and people are still doubting them. What's the deal
because
with that?
playing somebody tough is cool and all, but unless you win, it doesn't really matter.
But what I'm saying is, it's not just playing them tough. I'm talking about taking them to the the end of the fourth quarter.
Right, but that was
this was a walk-off that won them the game.
Yeah.
This was not a defensive play. I would have thought the Ravens defense would have stood up like none other.
Well, I think maybe it's one of those things where it's like, okay, man, it's cool. It's cool that you've gotten this far, but figure out what it does to take you over the edge. Like, to be so close and not be able to get there, that's got to be frustrating.
Oh, it's got to be. And that's why when I look at some of these games, look at some of these teams that are playing, even in our division, in our league, it's interesting to watch. So, we've got to see what comes down on this play and what the call is.
This is going to be tough to overrule, I think, because of the angle, if we had a down-the-line shot. But if you see, as he catches it, he rolls back, and I think it puts him at
the marker?
At the marker.
But look at where the hard part right now is, can we see where the marker is?
Yeah, go
on the field, okay?
It looks to
what
be
we got to
the
do
14-yard line.
Okay, now watch.
Oh, they confirmed it. There wasn't enough to overturn.
No.
Is really what that was.
Well, I mean, again, like you were just saying, if we would have had a shot down the line, it probably would have been easier.
I bet you Steve has good footage. Shout out to Steve Ashmore, the rest of the media guys working down on the field. They give us amazing shots.
Johnson
Contact
back to throw,
them
taking a
directly.
shot
What a
downfield.
ball.
Just incomplete. The intended receiver was Robert Burns, number 10, and Cannon, who's already had himself a solid game on defense.
And again,
forced the fumble on a throw-in return.
I will give it to Swag Urkel because if he
ball.
would have put that inside, that's a pick.
That's a yeah.
That's a pick. So he put it outside right where only his receiver could get it.
Sets up second down and 10 with 1:55 to go. Again, Anthony Alvarez, Chris Vera, and Scott the Viking McCorkle. Look out as the ball comes back into the huddle. 1:55 to go, and the Alienators holding their own against the Insomniacs. Now, granted, the Insomniacs don't have a majority of their roster, but they still have the 13-6 lead with 1:55 to go here in this first half. And the Insomniacs will get the ball to start the second half as they threw it off to start the game. Johnson back to throw. It's a quick slant pass caught by Gaither. And Gaither's been going backwards after he made the initial catch.
Forward progress is stopped.
So we got 5 yards on that play.
That brings number 8 down at the
Interesting.
19-yard line. Third down.
So with that crossing pattern, if you watch what was going on with that play, that was a very interesting crosser. Ooh.
Now, what do you think? What do you think it is that this Alienators O-line is doing that has this D-line stumped like this?
I don't think.
Boom, they got there.
Cannon with the interception.
As I said it.
There goes Cannon. And he's got a convoy of blockers. Cuts back, reverses his field.
That's
Ball's
a
on the
horse collar.
ground, and the Alienators get it. And it's a big man with football. Who's still chugging.
It's an interesting because that right there should have been called as a horse collar.
On Cannon?
Yes,
Okay,
because it took his jersey right off.
It did. And I think that's
wild.
And I think that might be the argument that the Insomniacs are trying to have. And the
Pulled his
Alienators
whole jersey off.
Yes, you are correct. Pulled his whole jersey right off of his body. But as he started to pull him backwards, he ducked, spun, and that got the defender, which was an offensive player.
That was Graham that picked up the football. And, of course, big man with football is always an exciting time here in the A7FL. And yet the Alienators will get possession back after the interception, to which Cannon jumped the route beautifully to pick it off. And now,
that's Big Brother walking over and telling little brother, "Hey, you're done. You're done.
It's over. Let it go. Let it go.
Just do it again."
Yeah, exactly.
Over and over again.
And that's the quiet leadership that AJ does provide. Doesn't say much, but when he talks, you better listen.
Nah, he's the quiet kid that punches himself in the head and worries everybody.
Johnson by himself. Here comes AJ. And throws it right back. It's picked off. Is that
good block by RTC?
And I don't know if that is that looks like it was Reeves that picked it off.
Smooth.
That was Smooth. That was Brown.
That was Smooth Brown. Okay.
Yep.
Josh Smooth Brown just takes it right back from.
It landed right in his hand.
It looked like Johnson threw it right to him.
Look, it landed right in his hand.
Oh, he jumped the route.
Pink.
So we had turnover.
Yeah.
So
hot potato.
Wow. All I can say is, if you think about it, did the Insomniacs really turn the ball over?
No, because they took it right back.
Because they took it away?
Took it right back.
Yeah.
Well,
So
as we say, ball don't lie.
No. And we got Luciano back as the quarterback.
And Schwenk has declared again. And RTC is lined up as a receiver. This can't be good. Quick out. Pass caught by Denzel just flat out dropped it. Denzel Daniels.
Mulligan.
Yeah. He normally doesn't do that.
Got a little jawing going on after the play. Thing about it is RTC, he's not going to say anything. That's just who he is. He's going to let his play do the talking.
Oh, he's going to tell you you're bad.
He's going
to tell you.
He's going to tell you
like you're not as good as me.
Yeah.
He can
and
say,
it frustrates you because you're not.
He can say give me the ball without saying give me the ball.
Yes.
10 yards to go. 50 seconds on the clock.
Again, 2 timeouts on each side. Luciano rolling out to his
He's
left,
got space.
And he's got space, and he's going to smartly step out of bounds near the marker.
Oh, he knows how to play football.
No, Zach is very elusive. Very, very elusive. And he can throw it as well.
He is what I would consider one of those players that isn't just fast. He's quick.
Yeah.
And he's quick to make his mind up. If you watch this, he made his mind up. He didn't see nothing open.
Let
me go get yards.
He took it.
So one thing I love about him is that
chasing him is like trying to chase a toddler with a remote.
Yes.
You don't know what direction they're going.
And a very fast toddler at that.
But that is what we call football IQ.
It is. And you can see when he makes the read, he didn't see anything there. Go get yards.
Luciano back to throw, and he's going to take it again.
First down.
Steps out of bounds. Move the chains. Stops the clock with 42 seconds to go.
That's smart.
Now, the interesting part about this is because where they are now on the field, this will also give him, if he stays in at quarterback, we've just seen him run it to the left, top of your screen twice, and what we saw out of that was roughly about, 14 yards? He had 7 and 7, let's just say that, and he got the first down. Now, we're sitting here at the, where are we, 9-yard line?
Yes.
Watch for.
So if we're at the 9-yard line, another 7-yard run gets him onto the 2, and then right after that, touchdown. So the defense has got to be aware of what he's trying to do.
This is also a part of the field where Schwenk really.
Toss to Wilkerson.
Never mind.
Too easy.
Mind.
Walks in untouched.
Untouched.
And with 40
that
seconds
blocking
to go,
is incredible.
Anthony Wilkerson with his second touchdown of the day, and great blocking. That's what it
was. I got to point something out because we're talking about this versus the Hunters game. The difference between these guys and the Hunters is you have able-bodied receivers that are willing to make those blocks. Whereas in the Hunters, I saw them running around the defensive players all the time instead of making those blocks.
That was a great block by Smooth.
And Juice was coming through trying to hit something, and he didn't even have to block anybody. That's a scary backfield. Look at those two.
Playing offense is about want to. And sometimes you have to do the dirty work by hitting somebody to make that, to free your ball carrier up. And that's the great thing about this game is you have the opportunity to do that.
Schwenk, now look, Schwenk done. He declared.
And they're going for 2 to please Scotty.
And now watch. They all walk up to the line.
Oh, is it a double pass? Yes, it is. Wow. Now, great defending play. Was that Gaither that made the play?
Yeah.
Yep.
Gaither knocks it down. So
he moves around a little bit.
Yeah.
Gaither's good.
Oh, no, he's real good. No. 40 seconds to go here in the half. And the Insomniacs stretch their lead to 13, 19-6.
They're still not up by much, though.
No. Well, again, if
The 3 on board
the
score.
Alienators don't shoot themselves in the foot with these turnovers, you think it could possibly be a different game. But, of course, we'll never know because the Insomniacs have turned the turnovers into points.
I think turnovers and takeaways should be 2 different stats, like kept separately. Like if you do, like, you know what I mean? Like if you drop the ball versus somebody stripping the ball. Like I feel like the defense should get more credit for that.
Stevenson to Webb. Webb across the 35. Webb to the 35. Webb
You got some moves to him.
still on his feet at the 40. Across the
Going for the ball.
45.
Dragging another.
Ooh, almost got it out.
Almost got it out.
Almost got it out. But that's what these guys do, right? Because that's why we talk about them so much is that they're
Davion-
able to hold somebody up and let somebody else have a chance of stripping the ball.
Davion Duncan almost tried to take that away from Mr. Webb, number 29.
Well, let's just point out the score is incorrect on the board. We've got it on the TV at 13-6. It's 19
It's
to
19 to
6.
6.
So just as an update,
Somebody better tell Pierre to change the numbers right.
right?
19-6 Insomniacs. Ball is at the 47-yard line, and Charles Johnson to Webb.
AJ jumped on him.
AJ almost got that, almost knocked that ball out.
And forced him out of bounds after a minimal gain.
I think what they've, the thing about it is you're keying on 12 so much. I think they've got to be alienators, that is, have got to be careful.
Yeah.
Because they are utilizing him, and I think that everybody's starting to take into
heed,
consideration from the Insomniac side, and they know where the ball's going.
Yeah. But now that means who else on this Alienator team is going to step up and be that complement to Webb?
Well, and that's
Second
a good
down
question.
and 4. And it goes back to Webb. He's open, first down at the 40. Knocked out of bounds by Shadow Rodriguez, and they want a flag, and the defensive
That
captain.
could have been a flag.
There's, you know what? No, that couldn't have been a flag.
Shouldn't have been, but could have been.
Well, you don't have a whistle, so to say that
Right,
somebody
right,
stepped
right,
out of
right.
bounds, and then when he did step out of bounds, you got the whistle afterwards after he had already started to tackle him.
Well, they always
So-
say.
You're right.
They always
Play
say.
to the whistle.
Play to the whistle. Ball at the
Sorry.
40. Johnson in the gun by himself. Here comes AJ. Screen pass to big man with football. Blackwood makes the catch
Smacked.
at the 35.
At the 35-yard line.
That's a big dude that just got cracked.
Yes.
Timeout.
And the Alienators
Called by
take
the
a timeout.
Alienators. Oh, look, they're actually trying to get some plays in. They're actually running a little
Yes.
quick football.
Which makes me happy.
Yeah.
Run the 2-minute drill, dadgummit.
And that's what they're trying to do. The thing about it is, how many timeouts do they have left?
They got
2?
one.
They got one left?
Well, they got one.
So here's the situation.
With 26 seconds.
You're looking at second down and roughly 5 yards
that
to
was-
go.
So, quick question.
Yes.
Does the clock stop to reset the sticks like
No.
in college?
No.
No.
No?
No.
Pro clock?
Yep.
Yep.
So here's the situation that we have. We've got second down and 5. You have a situation where they need the first down if they want to continue this possession going. And I think that we're in a situation where they really need to show what they can do right here. I think this play is going to either make or break this possession for them.
Here we go. Second down from the 35. Johnson back to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Oh, my goodness! What a
By
play!
Jeremy.
And Mr. Reeves has got nothing but green light ahead of him, and he's going to take it all the way for a touchdown.
Insomniac.
And Reeves looks to be a little bit limpy on that interception return. Looked like he was grabbing his hamstring at the last minute.
Statement by the Insomniac.
I think he was gassed, to be honest.
Yeah, he might just be a little tired.
I think he might just be gassed.
He's so big. It takes a lot of energy.
Oh no,
Ooh.
he did grab
grab
the hammy.
But that was D-Rock, Derek Schufer, that initially deflected the pass.
Hopefully that's just a little cramp.
And
Well, he hit the quarterback's arm.
Yes.
Made him give up the ball, and it looked like he was going to pump fake, and I don't think he had a chance after that to bring the ball back in.
He big. He big.
But D-Rock,
Yeah.
Mr. Derek Schuford, making the Schuford name very proud. And again, the name of the game in this first half has been turnovers.
Yes, it has.
And again,
you know, when we saw the Alienators last week, what's the one thing they didn't do?
They didn't turn the ball over.
Exactly. They had a really good
sound game. Yeah.
Sound game, holding on to the ball, protecting the ball. This game has been just the opposite.
Insomniacs with the 2-point try.
Zach looking for two, back in the end zone, incomplete. But with 13 seconds to go, the Insomniacs extend their lead to 19. And again, here's the thing. When
Burns with a good pursuit.
When the Alienators have not turned the ball over, they've shown that they can move the ball up the field, have even found the end zone once. But again,
they got to capitalize.
That, and the fact is you have to take care of the football. You can't put the church's money on the ground.
And the thing that kills me about that is, like I said, last week, completely different. They really kept track of the ball. They really did a good job of not turning the ball over, and they showed their true grit. Are we talking about a completely different team now because of the players they're missing?
Stone Stevenson will throw it off, and it'll be James Monk to receive the 3-on-1. And Monk will take it from the 18-yard line, gets across the 20, the 25. Trying to make
See how they cut off his angle?
Yes.
And that is
you
probably...
can't do that. You can't hold the ball up like that.
But that's probably one of the best plays I've seen that most guys don't understand. Cut off his angle to where he has no cutback lane. So it's an interesting piece when I see these guys playing and the difference in how, because, I mean, last week we saw a guy cut back and take it to the house.
Yep.
What you just saw right there was a guy stepping up and making sure that that cutback lane was not there. He got as deep as the runner, and once you're as deep as the runner, it's done. It's done.
All right, Chris, how are you running this offense? You got 13 seconds, one timeout. What are you calling right now?
Take a knee. That's what I'm calling. Dude, look, the only thing you can
timeout.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
3 pass plays.
Okay, you can have 4 pass plays. The problem with it is he's not having time to throw the ball downfield, just like that. And that's what I'm talking about.
There's that. There's AJ. That's a problem.
There's AJ.
Look,
the sack.
The bottom line is if he has time to throw the ball, then I'm telling you, yes, we're going to go for plays down the field. He doesn't have time to throw the ball down the field. That's why I said take a knee.
He could also step up in the pocket a little bit more.
But when he has, the defense
has
gotten to him.
Yes.
So after one half a play here at Bonanza High, it is the Insomniacs 25.
The not-so-human Mr. Knox paying a trip to the booth.
6.
These guys saw a fumble giving the ball right back to him.
Mm-hmm.
The pick, the fumble, gave the ball right back to him. That's something that you've got to be aware of. So I think that, had they been able to take that ball down the field and score, we might be looking at this through a different light. But because they were able to stop them and hold them, that's where we are with this. And, they gave the ball right back. I think that realistically the difference in this game are the turnovers that have really hurt the Alienators. I think that, if I'm not mistaken, all of the touchdowns right now that the Insomniacs have, except for that very first possession, have all come off of points have all come off of turnovers.
Correct.
So
correct.
That's hurting you right there. That should tell you what's going on.
So let's go through the recap of our rest of the action here this afternoon and / evening here at Bonanza High. The next game in the 4 o'clock slot, it'll be the Alliance making their Fall Brawl A7FL debut as they will take on the Hunters. And in the nightcap, we have OTT back in their familiar slot playing under the lights, playing the Outlaws, as we are nearing play here in the second half. So, Chris, if you are the Alienators, besides obviously taking care of the football, how can you get back in this game?
Well, I think that they have we're really in a good situation in the A7. You can actually get some of that momentum back on the 3-on-1s, right? We know that, and we know that they're untimed downs, which is a really, really big thing for a game like this, where you want to get back into the game, and we also have the get back rule this year. So I mean, there's 2 ways that they can really get back into this game. The get back rule is one of them.
Correct.
and good returns on throw-offs, on 3-on-1s. Those are the two ways they could get back in this game right away. The other way to get back into this game is to show your worth, and they need to play better because they were playing very well, and then I don't know what happened. So, I mean, if they continue to play the way we know they can, this could be a really good game for the second half.
Scotty, your thoughts on the first half and what needs to happen in the second half if you're the Alienators to get back in this game?
I didn't think they'd be doing this good. No, but seriously, they're playing really good football. They're finding a way to neutralize like little sections of like the offense and defense at a time. I don't know, to climb back in the game, it's not going to be the get back. I know that it sounds like a way to get back in the game, but
no pun
not
intended.
with Zelly. Yeah, but with Zelly back there returning it, they're going to have to throw it a very specific way to make that happen. I don't see it really being a thing. I just think they need to keep swarming to the ball on defense, get more people involved. They need to pay attention to matchups on the defensive line. There are certain guys that they're using to sub some players, and it's just not working out very well. They're getting exploited. The second that they check in, you'll see that the Insomniacs defense checks to a certain play, and it's just bully mode at that point.
Very quickly, going to give you a rundown of Week 14 in the NFL real quick. The late games right now, the Vikings and the Raiders are scoreless at Allegiant as we're nearing halftime.
Ooh.
The Bills are up 14-0 on the Chiefs. That's in
Say
the first
what?
half. Broncos up 7-0 on the Chargers. Browns beat the Jaguars 31-27. Rams in overtime lose to the Ravens 37-1. Bears with a shocker. They beat the Lions 28-13.
I don't believe it.
It happens.
Nope.
Buccaneers.
Here we go.
Buccaneers beat the 25. And a lefty with that's a nice spiral. And that is taken by
Davion.
Mr. Duncan. And Davion Duncan.
He's got the corner.
He's got the corner. He's got the
12's
edge.
got a beat on
and
him.
Can Owens get him? He gets him at the 11-yard line, at the 10-yard line. Great return by Davion Duncan. And that was Webb that made the touchdown-saving tackle.
First down, Insomniacs.
Wow.
Taking another look
That's all
at
I
it.
can say is wow. Now, see, you didn't have he didn't have a cutback lane. Put his foot in the ground, made one cut, and was trying to be gone. And that's
Just took
that's
the corner
exactly
and
what
went.
you need to do.
I'll tell you what.
That's impressive. That's impressive from Webb.
I'll tell you what. Give Webb some credit because he ran for dear life, trying to hold Duncan down, and Duncan a little bit frustrated. But that's just a great return.
And I don't know what's going on with Swag Urkel on the Mr. Charles Woodson on the Johnson. It was Charles Johnson on the sideline. But he seems to be in pain
He's
from
in
his
pain,
hip.
Yeah.
Well, what's going on too? Danya
Looks
is
like he got
here.
some old man pain with some sciatica or something.
Danya is here,
and
but
on the
he's not.
sideline.
He's not playing.
Dressed. He's not dressed.
Not dressed.
Here's Carter, left side, gets inside, gets a block, gets inside the 10 to about the 5-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal for the Insomniacs as they get a nice return on the 3-on-1, and of course Devontae Carter
Doing what he does.
doing what he does best, making and
AKA
looking for
tank.
contact, if you will.
The interesting part about it is you pick your poison, right?
Yeah.
If you've got Tay in there, he's going around the corner. Good luck stopping him.
Right.
If you've got RTC in there, he's blowing it up the A gap or B gap. Good luck stopping him.
Correct.
The fact of the matter is these guys can poison you many different ways.
Luciano at quarterback gives it back to Carter. Carter up the middle. He's already got a rushing touchdown today, but good pursuit and good tackling by the – well, they didn't bring him down, but great team pursuit by the – well, it has to take that to tackle Devontae Carter and Anthony Wilkerson and Juice for that matter.
But do you see the difference? They tried to do a B gap run. There's nothing there. They pushed it back. With Wilkerson, that goes forward.
Yes.
That's the difference in there. Tay is definitely an off-tackle runner, and I'm not saying he can't run between the A and B gap. I'm not saying that at all. I think he can fully.
Schwenk declares.
But I think that he's got more speed on the outside.
And you think with their built, you will think the exact opposite.
Correct.
Wilkerson looking for the hat
Touchdown.
trick,
For the end zone.
and he's
That's
got the
touchdown,
hat
baby.
trick. He should anyway.
What?
No, they're going to say he's
There's
down.
no way.
Wow.
Well,
All right,
hold on.
let's
take a look at the replay.
That's a little,
Take a look at the
there's a little
replay.
delay. Replay we got.
And we've also got to make sure that we're looking at where his knee goes down. Because it definitely was not his upper body. It was his knees. Right?
No.
That's a touchdown.
That's good. That's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown.
That's
Somebody
a
call
tutty.
down there and reset that.
I don't know if the Insomniacs can challenge.
They
given the
can.
fact that- well, they lost their first one, is what I'm saying.
Doesn't matter. As long as you have timeouts, you have challenges.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, here's the thing. Why challenge it when you have full thought of, okay, we're just going to do it right here.
True. Give it back to him. And they do.
Let him go.
And he walks in. And that's a hat
There's no
trick.
doubt there. No doubt there.
And that is a hat trick for Mr. Wilkerson. His third of the afternoon.
He should get an extra point for that.
Well, he can if they want to go for 2.
31-6. And
Get him that extra point right now. But
Shout
I think
out to all the family. Oh, wow. My bad. Shout out to all the family out here showing love and support for our players out here in the cold, dealing with this little bit of wind. It's a little chilly out here, but we still got a lot of family out here. More people piling into the stands. We appreciate the support. Thank you for tuning in wherever you're from.
And, of course, they're doing Scott's favorite thing, which is
Go for 2.
Luciano in at quarterback with Juice beside him.
Man,
Juice
on the
gets
podcast,
ball.
that would have been a different
Oh,
answer.
no. Zach still has it, and he throws it to Juice for 2.
Yes, he is.
Which makes Scotty even more happy.
Happy. happy.
So the score is now a 27-point lead for the Insomniacs, 33-6.
Gang.
With 12:18 to go here in the first half, Anthony Alvarez, Scott the Viking McCorkle,
Hello.
and Chris Vera with you.
Ooh, the alien down there took his mask off.
Yeah, the alien is
You
not.
should put it back on.
The alien is not very happy right now. As we're
We need the DJ to go ahead and throw our mask off.
right. All right. So some first half stats. The Insomniacs only threw for 10 yards in the first half. They didn't need to because the ground game has been strong.
Ground and pound.
The Alienators have passed for 85 yards. Rushing yards, 146 for the Insomniacs, 11 for the Alienators. Return yards, 72 to 53. That's in favor of the Alienators before Davion's return to start the second half. But here's the key. 5 turnovers by the Alienators, only 1 for the Insomniacs. Gaither on the 3-on-1. He's across the 30, 35, 40, 45. And a nice return by Ronald Gaither. But, yeah, 5 turnovers to the 1. Total yards, 156 for the Insomniacs, 96
He ran that with a little
by the
attitude.
Alienators. And our thanks to our guy in the chair, Cole, for giving us the stats here. But, yeah, RTC before the first half, or right now, 11 carries, 80 yards, and a hat trick.
Wow.
And that's him not feeling well.
Just imagine if he was feeling
Oh, boy. He really might have the sombrero and golden sombrero.
Well, I want to see how these guys come out, and I'm talking about the Alienators. How do they react to this opening drive for a touchdown?
Well, we do know we have a new quarterback because Charles Johnson is still on the sidelines on the ground in pain, trying to fight
Hopefully
it.
he's all right.
And
He's walking gingerly.
Joe Sims, number 6, the lefty, is in at quarterback for the Alienators. And here's Gaither up the middle. Gaither running strong. Gaither holding on for dear life. His father still on his feet, a first down.
Jeffrey Young.
Young was holding on for dear life.
Hey, Big Jeff might have saved the touchdown.
He
on
might
that
have
one.
because Gaither hit the hole strong, running up the gut, a la Mike Allstott.
A good block by Burns, going filling the hole too.
And Coach Q calling the play. So, yeah, that is Joe Sims, number 6, at quarterback for the Alienators.
Well, it was a good kick-out block.
He took Jeremy. He took that block. He took that shot from Jeremy pretty well. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you notice I see something else, too. They're playing with 4 offensive linemen now.
And it's back to Gaither. Gaither again.
Hey,
Nice, strong
obviously,
run on first down.
Oh, somebody got rolled up on. Hopefully he's okay.
Uh-oh.
Christina might want to get out there.
Uh-oh. The leg.
got
Oh, yeah.
rolled up on.
The way his left leg looks, that's not a good sign.
Not at all.
So with the way they lined up, then this might affect things because that's a big guy down. Hopefully he's all right.
That might be.
But the way they lined up is we are better at this than you. You saw it?
Yeah, he got his leg pinned underneath one of the guys.
He's trying to fight it. But go ahead and continue.
Yeah, so the way they were lining up, they were not respecting the D-line of the Insomniacs at all. That's not something necessarily we see very much. They thought they had the upper hand. And we'll see how that plays out through the rest of the game.
Well, I think that they were trying to get something going here in the run game with lining up 4 offensive linemen. But I'm wondering how this is going to stymie that with this injury.
So just to reset, 10:42 to go here in the third quarter. Anthony Alvarez, Chris Ferris, Scott the Viking McCorkle with you here at Bonanza High. The Insomniacs extend their lead to 27 at 33-6. Now, our other 2 matchups coming up today at 4 o'clock. The Alliance make their A7 debut as they will take on the Hunters, as the Hunters will try to get on the board as they did not last week. And, of course, the nightcap OTT against the Outlaws. So the Alliance making their debut. Coach Zoe bringing his debut here. So what are you kind of expecting to see from the Alliance, gentlemen?
Well, from the Alliance, we really want to see how they've been able to mesh over the offseason. We haven't been able to see them yet. We're looking to see how they establish what kind of system they're going to run on offense, defense. This is a complete discovery phase for us. And they have the athletes. We've seen the talent that they have on their roster. Let's see what they can do with it.
Probably helps if I unmute myself.
That would help.
But, you talking about the seeing what the Alliance has?
Yes, sir.
When we look at what they have and you look at it through the rosy lenses of on paper, we know that they've got players. But the question is, even when we look at the Insomniacs, we see them playing with their backup quarterback. We've seen some miscues. Run game's still strong, but we saw some miscues along the way. So I'm wondering if that isn't what we're going to see with the Alliance just a little bit to begin with.
Now, you're not seeing this on our air, folks, but just now we always talk about how Anthony Wilkerson is one of the kindest human beings you'll ever want to meet. He just helped bring Big Reyes over from the sideline, or bring him from the field to the sideline. Just goes to show you what kind of a human being Anthony Wilkerson is. A tremendous display of sportsmanship by that young man.
He's pretty cool.
But then again, we're not surprised by that.
Not even a little bit.
Not at all.
That's just who Wilkerson is.
I've seen him go out of the way to help people that he doesn't even necessarily like people that he doesn't even know, like this gentleman. Like it happens all the time.
That was Big John Reyes, the alienator that was injured.
The interesting part about that, when you talk about Anthony, the thing that you have to understand too is a lot of these guys, they're big guys. They do this, they do that, they play football. Bottom line is, they're all human, but the great thing about it is they're also really good people.
Yep. And some of them are just meanie heads.
Well, you got a few in every bunch, right?
Sims. Oh, what a pick! Smooth Brown says, "Look, Mom, one hand." Whoops! Unbelievable. Oh, my goodness.
That was absolutely ridiculous.
That somebody needs to send that to Bristol, Connecticut right now and get that on the plays of the week. Unbelievable.
I'm going to be quiet for a second just to watch this on the replay.
Shot put.
With the left
With
hand.
the lefty.
Oh, my.
Went up with his left and brought it in like it was nothing.
And then shook the big man out of sneakers.
Smooth Brown, that is a heck of a play, young man.
There's a reason why he's got the nickname Smooth.
And you just saw it
too easy
on that play right there.
Just
my
looked too easy.
Goodness.
That
effortless.
was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was effortless.
That was absolutely ridiculous.
I
I'll
mean,
tell you what, I've seen some interceptions even in the pros. That was impressive.
First down, Insomniacs.
Quick out to Stone Stevenson, but a good pursuit there. Nice job there by James Monk on the stop. And that is the 6th turnover by the Alienators here today.
It's kind of hard to win with the stat line like that.
You are absolutely correct, sir.
There's so much to overcome when you have six turnovers.
That's a bold move there, Cotton.
When you are -5 in the turnover margin, And that is, by the way, the second pick for Smooth today, as he picked one off earlier.
Yeah, he had to go up and get that one. The first one was thrown to him.
Oh, yeah. The first one was a gimme, and then that one he just did a full pirouette like he's an ice skater. Toss to Carter. Carter trying to reverse field. And the
thing about it is if he would have paid attention to that just a little bit earlier, he could have came all the way back around and had no problem with it. But here again, what have we been saying about the Alienators? Alienators actually, their defense is no slouch.
No.
Alienators' defense is they're understanding, they see what they need to do, and they go take care of business.
But again, here lies the question.
They're playing technically sound.
They
Yes.
got to take care of the football because, again, you are -5 in the turnover margin.
Well, and the situation puts them behind the 8 ball.
Correct.
And if you look at their sideline right now, you've got Gaither warming up. Looks like he's coming in as quarterback. And when you have this is a situation just like in the NFL. Not every starting quarterback is good enough to be a starter. Let's just be honest.
Zach looking for Stone. He's got it.
Oh, got
and
it.
Stone Stevenson, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Insomniacs. And Zach Louisiana put a beautifully thrown ball in
That
Stone
was a
Stevenson.
dime. Had something to say after that.
And Stone caught it right in stride
That was
and
a
never
dot.
looked back.
That was a dot.
Right over the
Shout
corner.
out to the camera.
Right over the corner.
Shout out to the camera. That was a nice shot.
Yeah, that was a great camera view. But I mean, here's the thing, Chris. And again, it's the alertness of Zach to keep his eyes downfield, but also stepping up in the pocket and taking his time and delivering a well-thrown ball right in stride with Stone Stevenson.
Well, and that's what we're talking about. When we're looking at some of these other quarterbacks and what we've seen from some of the Alienator quarterbacks right now, their first move is to go backwards. A good quarterback's first move is to climb the pocket, and that's exactly what we just saw. We saw a quarterback climb the pocket and let the ball go.
So they're going to – that is Devon – oh, that's Juice at quarterback. And they're going to try to make Scott happy and go for 2 again. Juice. Good pursuit by the
That's a great
Alienators
stop.
defense. But nonetheless, with 6:05 to go here in the half,
I don't think necessarily that's a 2-point play.
it is 39-6 in favor of the Insomniacs. And the Insomniacs, Chris, not having the majority of their core, and they still are a point away from putting up a 40-burger.
It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It kind of makes you wonder.
Yeah.
We're talking about the champs from last season.
Correct.
We're talking about the guys that are out here to prove a point.
Correct.
And guess what they're doing?
Yeah.
They're proving a point.
Well, again, as we say, when a lot of your core is gone, you figure, okay, this might be a problem. But again, as I said at the top of the program, when you're well coached, it really doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. And that's the beauty of this game is that a good team is going to win more times than not.
Gaither back to receive it. So now with that, because the ball did not reach the 25-yard line, Gaither will have ball in hand and a running head start here.
Who do you think he runs at? Because Gaither runs at people. He doesn't try to avoid anything.
Well, we just saw that.
I'll tell
He's
you,
going to pick one, and he's going to try and run over him.
I'll tell you this. Cannon's not afraid. Cannon
No.
will accept that challenge. And Gaither going through people, still on his feet. Gaither carrying the Insomniacs defense. The ball's on the ground.
Gaither got it back.
And Gaither gets
He got
it
back.
He got it.
They're fighting for it, but Gaither got it back.
Cannon will not. I'll tell you what, Steve Cannon, he can play on my team
Anytime. There's a guy.
Gaither, that's a good return, though.
Yes, he did.
But there's a man in Cannon that is
Cannon
the heart
will
is
not quit
way
for-
bigger than his body.
He will not quit for nothing.
Max stays tripping.
There's a reason why I call him Mr. Pilfer. That man absolutely loves to go after the ball, and I've seen him take it away more times than not.
And he almost took it away right then and there.
Well, you saw it pop out. Granted, it was way after the play, but that is the way he feels. I have talked to him about his game, And his whole thing is he allows others to grab the player just so that way he can go after the ball.
Yep.
He knows you got to go where the ball goes.
That's one thing about the Insomniacs. It's a team full of role players. Like, they're all standouts in their role.
Yeah.
But they are there to play whatever role the team needs to make that play, to make that drive, to get that win.
You're talking about guys that could be all-stars on other teams.
Correct.
Bottom line, that are role players. These guys understand what it takes and their positions.
Flag on the play.
Okay, I've heard about undressing somebody, but that's ridiculous.
Well, he came on the other side of the ball during the summer, and he please said, run to my side, run to my side, run to my side. That is twice they have run to his side, and he has tackled a guy.
It doesn't look good.
It
And
don't
now
work
he's
well.
taken the jersey. He's taken Robert Burns' jersey completely off.
I mean, you go back to what I just said about undressing somebody. You could do that verbally, but come on, man, you just did it.
He literally just took the man's jersey off.
Oh, that
I mean,
was
if there's ever a
fantastic.
reason to play.
Well, we did see a flag, but
Yes.
I didn't see any call. But I did notice that they did put the ball back to where the forward progress was stopped. So
it's
I'm curious
second
if
down
we
and
had
15.
something there.
I do really like the Alienators jerseys, though.
Gaither gets the carry,
I have to say.
gets a minimal gain, and
Well, the thing about it is they're trying to run, and this is what I don't understand. Why would you run to the strength of the Insomniacs team? You're looking at Scotty, you were talking about it. Your linebacker that you guys have is a really good physical
he's the
player.
best.
And then you're going to run right into the teeth of the defense? That doesn't make any sense to me.
No, and with how aggressive the D-line is playing for the Insomniacs right now, I would kind of opt more for, tight end usage and pop screens over the middle.
You have to show these guys something and take them in a different direction.
Correct.
Right now, there is no play fake, play action. There's nothing.
Flag
all
on the
there
play.
all there is these guys are out here and they're running straight football, which I don't understand
AJ just
because
ran somebody out of bounds.
Q is a better quarterback, or excuse me, a better coach than what we're seeing today.
well, the run game continues to go backwards for the Alienators as Burns had 3 carries for minus 19 yards, and his longest run's been a minus 2 yards. So the run game has not been a factor for the Alienators. And again, it's huge because their star running back, Devontae Moncrief, is in his sweatpants, along with Iriarte, the starting quarterback. And that's 2 key cogs from your offense that's missing. And now, again, I'm not saying that the score might not be the same, but it could be different having those 2 guys in your lineup as opposed to what you have now. But again, next man up, you play with what you got, and you do the best with what you got as we're nearing the end of the third quarter with a 33-point lead for the Insomniacs.
But as a coach, you know if your quarterback's going to be out.
Yes.
You know if your running back's going to be out.
Yes.
So you have to get your second and third
This
quarterbacks
is a new
ready to go.
Yes, it is.
McCormick
is in at quarterback for
comes in and calls out a timeout.
calls a timeout with
Well,
14 seconds
I don't
to
know
go.
if you guys noticed, but we had one of their players run off the field, number 12. I don't know if he was supposed to be in there.
Would've
He
been
came running off the field.
And that would have been too many men on the field. So the clock stops with 12 seconds to go, as that is their first timeout used, and there's 2 left for the
Well, I think that
Alienators.
we've got to, the Alienators have to kind of be careful right here. They're in plus yardage situation.
Yeah.
They could very easily go for 3 to put some more points on the board
They
because,
could,
again,
yes.
what we're talking about here is a situation where we've got to remember we're playing tournament-style football. Point differential makes a difference. So we've got to see what they're going to do with this. We're talking 4th down. So here's where, if it's me, as a coach, I'm making that call and I'm going for 3. Why am I going for 3? Because, again, point differential. Compared to what they scored last week, 9 points could be the difference right now.
Between
for
a
them.
mercy.
Yes.
Well, not just the mercy. We're also talking about seeding going into next week.
Correct.
We have to take a look at that, and I don't think they are.
McCormick going deep for Webb, incomplete.
And rubbed out.
Good defense there by Smooth Brown.
And now we have a turnover on downs.
And the Insomniacs get the ball back as we reach the end of the third quarter here at Bonanza High, home of the Bengals. It is the Insomniacs 39 and the Alienators 6.
Shout out to the 2 Buick Regals that just got sideways around the corner.
At the fourth quarter,
That's interesting.
My
So,
bad. Sorry.
so
Squirrel.
it's a 33-point lead for the Insomniacs. And, gentlemen, pretty much to keep it simple, if the Insomniacs score on this possession, the game is over.
this game will be over.
Well,
Literally.
yes, and I think,
Literally.
and I'm not going to lie to you, I think that's what the Insomniacs are going for. Because
Oh, yeah.
again, they are looking up right now at Sickwit. Sickwit had a 78 burger that they
Yes.
scored,
Yes.
and that point differential is going to come into play.
Yes.
Now, Sickwit has the weekend off.
Correct.
So if you're looking at this right now, we had the Insomniacs score, 42 last week?
49,
or 49?
49.
So if you play...
And who knows what could have happened if the game didn't abruptly end.
Exactly. And so if you throw another 6 points, let's say, and I'm just saying 6 because if they score a touchdown, right now you'd be looking at 45 points. So what are we talking about? We're talking about 80, 90, 93 points right now for a point differential that could swing them into the number 1 seed after this game.
So the Insomniacs will go from our left to right on your screen as you get a nice view of the
Fountain Blue.
And the Strat in the mountains in the background. Some great settings. And we have some visitors coming up here to say hello.
First down.
It is amazing the way things happen up here when we have guys that the players come up and say hi all the time, which is a great thing. A lot of love. You know, we love this game, and a lot of the guys come and say hi to us, so it's a good thing. Kind of makes you giggle, though.
It really does. Scotty gets a lot of different gestures. when
Right?
people come to the booth
Gestures. That is a good word.
to say
Gestures.
hello.
It's amazing.
It is. So start of the fourth quarter, 15 minutes to go. 39-6, the Insomniacs lead, but if the Insomniacs score here, the game is over. And we would get an hour break in between the next game between the Hunters and the Alliance.
And that could wind up being a very good game. We don't know where this is going to go.
My friend, I love you, but you get a lot of gestures from different players when they come up here to say hi.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of love, but a lot of middle fingers.
Here's Devontae up the middle. Devontae gets to about the 39-yard line.
Looks like 38, 39 right in there. Looks like they're going to spot him at the 38.
Why does Juice look so big even from up here?
Because he's a big boy, regardless. Doesn't.
You know what's crazy is that RTC and I'm actually bigger than RTC. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Maybe in a different timeline, I would love to see RTC in pads and run the ball.
You might. You know what? There's some things happening with the IFA. You never
well,
know.
In a different time,
In a
I
different
would
time
have
in
loved
6
to play
months.
this.
Oh yeah.
Here's Devontae again.
Tay just runs right through an arm tackle.
And you know he's happy because he's looking for contact
Yes.
and gets a first down.
But he ran right through that arm tackle like it was nothing.
Well,
The thing
you-
about it
you
is
can't-
you can't run.
you
You
can't-
can't arm
No.
tackle this man.
No, you can't.
If you want to bring down this man, you have to be able to wrap him up and tackle him, bring him down to the ground.
And again, it's already it's already a hard task because his pad level is so low to begin with.
Yes. And the thing about it is the speed that he runs with
Yes.
and the power he runs with.
Yes.
Your arm tackles, you know, the thing about it is you can get low and try to arm tackle him around the waist. He's going to run through that as well. He is going to run through any arm tackle from pretty much anybody. But that's, again, what we were talking about. Off tackle, run, around the corner. They're showing that they can do this on a regular.
And there goes Juice. Juice,
On the
great
loose.
job on his blocks. Gets a first down, still on his feet. And again, I mean, during the spring we talked about the 4-7-3-headed monster running back.
Yes.
And now we're seeing it here with the Insomniacs. And it's like you said last week, Chris, it's really about pick your poison. Who do you want to beat you?
Well, and the thing about it is, here we are again. We see the difference between the Hunters and the Insomniacs, and it's not a big difference. And what I mean by that is the patience of the running back to allow his blocks to set up before he started to make his cut. What we saw with the Hunters last week, they weren't allowing those blocks to be set up, and they weren't allowed that to happen before they were running into their own players.
Zach looking for Denzel to end the game. Incomplete, but that was knocked away by the Kendrick Phillips.
I don't think that was I don't think he knocked that ball away. I think
he got it.
No, I think what he did was he jumped up in front of him, took his concentration off the ball. If we could watch this play again, you'll see that I don't think he got a piece of it. Now watch where the ball's coming down. He just jumps up in front of him enough to make him take his eyes off the ball. And sometimes that's all you need as a defender.
First down and 10 with 12 minutes to go, or second down and 10 with 12 minutes to go in the game.
It's kind of funny watching Dub.
Anyway. And there's Wilkerson. He's already got the hat trick. Wilkerson hits the corner, gets out of bounds. Wilkerson looking for the sombrero to end this game. Well,
and
yes.
They've got to be careful because he can break it at any given moment.
Well, he's making reference to me fist pumping as I'm cheering on the team that I root for that wears pads that plays in Santa Clara, California at Great America. Which they're up by 4 against the Seahawks in the third quarter. Of course, Chris has an important game that he's going to be cheering on in about 2 hours from now.
Yes, sir.
As bitter rivals renew acquaintances again. Zach keeping it himself. And Zach, as elusive as it can be.
You get to the 30.
He's close, but I think it's going to be about a yard shy of the first down.
That brings up 4th down.
So,
where they're marking him, he's more than a yard short. They've got him 5 yards short.
Really? Okay, so he must have stepped out of bounds. All right.
So here again, I would talk about, throwing the ball, but I mean, let's face it. With 10 minutes to go, 39-6, if you get this touchdown, game's over. I mean, look, I get it. I get it. And we're also, again, talking about point differential. So anybody who thinks they're running up the score, that's not the situation. When you play tournament style, this is what happens.
Wilkerson, direct snap. Keep it himself. Nice block by Juice.
I think he's really close. Nope, where they marked him, they've got him short of the first down.
And they're pointing the Alienators' way.
Yep.
First down, Alienators.
So the Alienators will get a chance to keep this game going. And if they score on this possession, the game will keep going. But, again, if the Insomniacs score, which, again, right now they're up by 33.
But the question on this is who's playing quarterback now? That's a question mark that I would have.
McCormick is back in at quarterback number 17 for the Alienators.
Okay. That's going to be interesting because he was the one that just got the he's the one that just threw the pass for the interception.
Yes.
So let's see what happens with this. I want to see if he is going to. The big thing that I see with him is he's not stepping into his throws.
Yes.
Most of his throws look more like shot puts, and that is going to be a problem because anything that flutters with these guys, with the Insomniacs, they're going to go get that ball. And we've already seen it.
McCormick, no backfield, 3 wide receivers. He'll put it up to throw. He'll step into it. Now he's going to run for it.
He thought he was.
And Mr. Reeves says hello.
Still got a bit of a hitch in his giddy up.
Jeremy Reeves, Jay Reeves on the stop.
You know what, though?
9:13 and counting to go.
I've seen guys with hitches in their giddy up and still make plays, and this man is still making plays. It's an interesting thing to watch, and Scott, you called it. Your linebacker is showing up.
Yes.
He is showing up.
Yes, he is.
And right now, when you have a running back that's able to, a linebacker that's able to show up like that, it keeps the quarterback honest. When we see the blocking and we see the gaps, the A gap, B gap is there for him to run in, and the linebacker is able to shut it down like that, it gives you faith, it gives you hope.
Rolling out.
Oh, batted back in his face.
And he almost threw it into D-Rock's chest. And that possibly could have been the end of the game. De'Eric Schufert blocking the ball with his whole body, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, he almost blocked it with his head.
that would have counted in soccer for sure.
Well, if you have a face mask and you're wearing a helmet, that's a different type of block. But
yeah.
This was almost off his face.
Ooh, that's not good for the Vikings.
It shut off.
3rd down. 8 yards to go.
3rd and 8. Alienators looking, throwing.
And
there is Smooth Brown, and that's going to end the end.
Over.
Smooth Brown with his hat trick interception, and this one ends the game in style, in fashion, 45-6, and that is all she wrote.
That's rough.
Now,
Oh, they're 3 points.
No,
away. Okay.
3 points.
So the game's not over yet. Okay.
Now, when we talk about this is, again, what we were talking about. This, people could look at this as running up the score. You could talk about it any way you like. The fact of the matter is, when you have tournament style, the point differential is going to be huge. They really have to go for a two-pointer here.
Yeah, they do.
They have to go for a two-pointer.
So they're up by 40 or 39. So this will put them at a 41-point deficit. So, of course, that makes Scotty happy when they always go for 2.
Go for 2.
And Nutter Butters are very good cookies.
They
Nutter
taste
butter?
good in your mouth.
Nutter Butter, yes. They're very good by Nabisco.
Nutter butter.
Zach, some razzle-dazzle to Denzel. Denzel
Cuts it
still on his
straight up.
feet and
Takes
kicks it
it
for
in.
2 anyway.
Silly.
That's what speed can do for you. That is
Oh,
straight
backflip.
speed.
Stick the landing, young man.
And he said he was going to point up here. Let's see. No pointing. All right. That's all right.
Just backflip.
That is an incredible play by a young man.
Not. Oh, he didn't. He did. Well, that was a partial point. No, I said if he takes a return back.
Oh, that's right.
I was
yes,
specific.
we did say yes.
I was
we did.
specific. I
Yes,
was
we
if you
did.
take another one back on a 3-on-1, you have to stick the landing again.
Yes.
But still, that was a great play off the little toss there by Zach Luciano.
So here's the interesting thing.
Correct.
Mercy is 42.
Correct.
We're at 41.
We're at 41. Yes.
So this game is going to continue. My curiosity question is, if the Insomniacs do not let this let the Alienators score again, and we keep at this 41-point deficit, the interesting point, like we said, 49. So we would have 90 points, and they would be, in fact, in first place right now.
That's a lot.
So
Well, I would expect them to try to do the get back as best as they can.
Oh, that's a duck.
That's
an
gonna
ugly
be
duck.
ball in hand.
Whoopsies.
Why would you do that?
That was an accident.
well, it's going to be
Ball in hand anyway.
yeah, it's going to be ball in hand.
So James Monk will have ball in hand with a running head start.
Detective Monk?
Possibly.
Only if he's wow. That was
That looked like one of my throws.
that looked
When I
like,
try to throw it over 15 yards, that's what happens.
that looked like me throwing it
Well,
lefty.
I will say this. Watch for Cannon to try to strip that ball like Peanut Tillman. And Monk to the corner. Oh, great tackle
Good.
by Cody Johnson
Good tackle,
at
Cody.
the 40-yard line.
Wow. And the thing about it is his teammates are looking at him like, oh, okay, we
Oh,
didn't need to do anything. Okay,
Yeah,
you
like,
got
oh,
this.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Or they just might have been impressed.
Like, or you can do it. That's fine.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I was gonna, but sure.
Oh, okay.
See, but again, here again, we talked about it. We talked about guys making one move. You know, you
Stick
don't
your
have
foot in the
time.
ground and
You got to
go.
stick. You got to stick your foot in the ground. Make your move and go. And if you are not faster, if you cannot accelerate past the man running at you, that's what happens.
Shake it like a salt shaker.
by
and
the
get out of
way,
there.
our guy in the chair Cole wanted me to tell you, Chris, since you are a Cowboys fan and he is too, to go Cowboys.
Nice. Tom, thank you very much.
I remember when I believed in Santa.
Yeah. Coming from a guy who's a Carolina Panthers fan.
So Reeves has a pick six and a sack.
Oh, lets
McCormick
the
going
ball
downfield.
Oh.
Incomplete. Looks like Gaither was the intended receiver.
It looks like he was throwing it to the corner.
It's interesting, even though Scott likes to give me crap about believing in Santa. With his team, he believes in elves.
I'm a Lions fan. That's worse.
Oh, man,
Well, they're 9-4.
why couldn't they show up today?
Apparently, they stayed at home.
They never got off the bus. And I'm tired of having faith in Goff
Man, look.
for my fantasy team. That's done. I will,
Goff, it's
I will
Goof.
not start him again.
No, he changed his name from Goof to Goff.
Should just go back to being Goof. Anyway,
McCormick back to throw.
AJ not really
Nice
rushing.
catch there by Monk.
No.
Monk makes a man miss. First down. Monk inside the 40. Cannon holding him for dear life. at the 38-yard line.
If we can see this replay, I want you guys to take a look at something. I think that we got an offensive lineman that got away with a holding call. You guys tell me what you think.
Talking about
watching the middle.
Talking about
watching the middle, you'll see. He looked like he got away with one.
Yeah.
Well,
that's a hard one. It's hard to catch a holding call in the middle.
2.5 to go.
The refs aren't looking there.
McCormick flings it out to Webb, incomplete.
Crazy long pitch.
Well, quick pitch, shovel pass, whatever you want to call it.
16 was something to say to AJ.
That might not be a good idea.
You just don't want to make that man.
No.
That's all I'm going to say.
You don't want to unleash passion if you cannot take it, because number 20 brings the passion.
He's not even blocking him.
Of course. Well, look.
That's what's crazy. You're going to make him mad, and you don't even have to deal with it.
Going deep for Gaither. Intercepted by Davion Duncan. And Davion might have took a shot to the family jewels.
No. He drove his knee into the ground.
Uh-oh.
Drove his knee into the ground when he fell.
The turf.
Yep, watch. He'll be all right.
He's back up under his own power. Well,
see how he's limping a little bit? Just drove the knee into the ground.
Well, good job there by Davion, jumping the route, stepping in front of Gaither to pick it off. And the Insomniacs, with 99 seconds and counting, will try to do their own 2-minute drill to try to end this game a minute early.
Well, let's not forget. Let's not forget one thing. If they get in a plus situation, plus yardage situation, they could go for 3.
They could, yeah.
That's rude.
Hey, I'm just calling it as I see it.
Hey, let's just do it just to see one.
I think the biggest part about that is
they don't have a ball.
Well, no, the ball's down here and nobody picked it up from earlier. So we have wasted 30 some odd seconds off the clock with not that it's a big deal. I mean, look,
the game's over.
The game is in
hand.
Are
going to win.
The game is in hand. It is what it is.
The Buffalo Bills up 14-7 in Kansas City.
They're just letting the clock run like this?
Now, see,
well, don't forget that it's a running clock.
Yeah, it's a running clock.
Yeah, but shit,
when you're up by 27.
So, but because they never set the, that's right. Never mind.
No, because when you're leading by 28 plus, it's a running clock.
Yep.
So the well, is that Cody? Yeah, that is Cody Johnson at quarterback.
Well, he does everything.
A la Jim McMahon wearing
that
gloves.
was a jump.
He'll keep it himself. Johnson
the corner.
running. Johnson on his feet. Gets
bent backwards just a little bit, but he jumps right up like no big deal.
And even with 17 seconds, he's trying to go 2-minute drill.
Well, because they can't call timeout.
No, they cannot. This will be the last play of the game with the Insomniacs with the win in hand. And he'll keep it himself one more time.
This
and
time
that
he
will
stopped
do it.
going around the corner.
And the Las Vegas Insomniacs respond.
Well, look at them getting in his face. Why is everybody always trying to fight us?
I don't know. But nonetheless, the final score here in Game 1, the Insomniacs with back-to-back 40 burgers. They scored 49 last week, put up 47 today.
It was a good game to watch, actually. That was a fun game. It was lopsided, but that was a fun game.
But I think here's what we learned, though.
Insomniacs are great.
That, too. But, again, it's just, we've always talked about depth. And the Insomniacs' depth really showed out today. Because
if you don't have depth, you end up divorced.
Because I mentioned you didn't have Munchie. You didn't have Kenny Mack. You didn't have Davik. You didn't have Scooter.
No Danye.
Danye was there on the sideline, not in uniform.
No McWillie.
No Mr. Mouth. But, again, RTC.
No Chris Cunningham.
RTC playing 6 has a hat trick.
No
Smooth Brown, 3 picks.
Davion
and 2 touchdowns from it, right?
Yes. So it just goes to show you that this team is a well-coached team, but because they play as one, they play so unselfish and so selfless. It's like, okay, you know what? You shine. I'll step back, and you get it today. I mean, Zach came in, played some well. I mean, Q struggled, but Zach made some good throws. I mean, it certainly helps when you give the ball number 5, absolutely. I mean, you see Juice contributing with some plays.
Juice is a beast.
As you see the Insomniac players come over to make sure that Charles Johnson and Mr. Reyes are okay, good sportsmanship. But again, it just goes to show you just how great the depth of this team is. and which is why they should be favored going into our 10th anniversary season starting on March the 24th in 2024.
It's going to be nice to win that one.
You know, the thing about it
you
is,
you being healthy will be very good to see on that aspect
and
also.
the interesting thing about that, while we're talking about this just real quick, you're talking about a West Coast team.
Correct.
That somebody from the East Coast for the first time didn't win the championship.
Correct. Didn't even make it to the championship game.
Yes. Could it possibly be a situation where you have a returning champ go back to back, and it be from the West Coast?
It's very possible.
I mean, look, I know there's going to be plenty of teams that want to argue with us and from the East Coast and say it's not going to happen.
Now, you got to get to the dance to prove you could dance.
True, but we know the East is going to try to come back with
something saucy.
With some venom because, again, they've been the establishment of this league for the first 8 years. Okay, and this is only Vegas' second year. First year was in 2022, 2023. Not only did the Insomniacs win the championship, they ran the table. Because remember, BIC had the record with being the perfect season, going 9-0.
Yes.
When they won the title. Here comes the Insomniacs. They go 12-0. So now the Insomniacs, a West Coast team, has now set a new standard for a perfect season in the A7.
Now, can I say something that's going to make a lot of people feel some kind of way?
Yes, please.
I think that the biggest part about this, and Skylar and I have talked about this a little bit, but, bruh, you got to give up the Sin City name. You got